Dimma, does that win change the narrative about the club?
Well, yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I sort of speak about narratives a little bit, and to change that, you've got to win some games, especially against some really good footy clubs. And last 3 weeks we've played 3 of the best in Collingwood, Adelaide, and obviously Brisbane. So 2-1 against those 3. What it probably does, I hope, is instill a bit of confidence into this group, what may be. I think as an organisation, as a coaching group, we're incredibly proud of the response, because it was disappointing last week. There's no doubt about that. We had some things in our game that were just not up to standard, and the guys, in particular, old mate to my left, got to work and got the job we were required to do. So, yeah, it's incredibly pleasing. Really proud of our footy club tonight.
And just the manner that you won it in today, obviously, the midfield thing, the Lions dominated that one.
Yeah. Can I make a statement about Jarrod Witts? Can we start having a conversation? I watched an article, I watched TV the other day that had a list of ruckmen that are in the mix. Go and have a look what our guys done to all those guys. Start having the conversation about how good this guy's become. These guys should be buying him coffee not only every day.
I agree.
He's been unbelievable. So just have a deeper dive into it and see what he's sort of actually become.
You think All-Australian mix then for him?
I'd love to have him as All-Australian. I sort of sit there, I wouldn't pick another ruckman over this guy. So
I remember when you started coaching here, you said you didn't realise maybe not how good he was, or how, I don't know what the wording was, but is that fair? That you probably snuck up on you how impactful he is, Jarrod?
Oh, Jarrod?
Yeah.
I realise the importance. I remember having a conversation with my predecessor, Julian. He was out and he sort of said, look, it's hard to win without Witter, and I can understand why. He's very, very good. Don't get me wrong, we've got a really good second in charge in, Moyley, but this guy's unbelievable, I think, and probably hasn't got the credit that he deserves in the importance to our footy club.
Matt, your thoughts on Jarrod?
Yeah, I love playing with Witter. I think he's one of the best ruckmen in the comp. I mean, the amount of taps that he hits down my throat each week, just know he's going to get it to the spot a lot of the time. Around the ground, he's a great mark as well. I feel so confident running out with him each week. And he's also just a really great bloke as well, really good leader. Ever since I come to the club, he's someone that I've really loved to get to know, and he's kind of taken me under his wing with, being straight in the midfield. So, couldn't speak more highly of Witter, and, just love him.
Dimma, you made a lot of changes this week, which is not something you've done this season. The guys you brought in, Davies, Farah, Holman, they all play with a bit of an edge. Was that part of the thinking there? Yeah, a little bit, but obviously the definition of insanity is you didn't want to be having the same conversation with ourselves and our coaching group if we lost the same way. So, it's taken me a little bit of time to understand what that looks like versus Brisbane, but there's a look that I think we needed to get into the side, and I think our guys, all of those players that you mentioned really, really stood up, plus the addition of, Sam Collins coming back in was awesome as well. So we were really pleased with what those guys brought. And it's good reward. They've been in terrific form at the lower level. So, that's the sort of thing we've got to consistently do, reward the guys that are performing well, and, hopefully they can make that jump and that step up. So I was really pleased with the impact those players had today. And more specifically on Alex, his role seemed to be sort of not helping Matt out, but helping shift Dunley from stoppages, and that part of his... Yeah, it was, and he's had an indifferent year. He had some injuries early, hamstring, I think he had a concussion at some stage, and then he had another injury which I can't quite recall. So he's been a little bit up and down with his prep, but what I do know is he can play the game, and he can play the game to a high standard. And those bigger body mids that can cover ground like Alex are very, very important. We're very privileged and blessed to have some of the best in the competition. Case in point, the guy beside me, but he's a player that I think he's only starting to understand what he may be. And more importantly, I think he's starting to get an understanding of where he can end up. What does he do for you, Rowell, today, having a guy that size and physical?
Yeah, I think it's just another one that can get in and under and crash and bash, and just opens up the stoppage for others as well at different points, and we can have a few different looks around there with the way that he goes about it as well. So he just adds to the mix in a different way, and like Tim said, I don't think he knows really how good he can be yet. He's got some great attributes, and we just got to keep supporting him. So, yeah.
felt like Ben Long was out with a point to prove this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been a little bit flat the last couple of weeks, and he didn't train at all during the week. He's had had a little bit of an injury cloud, but he's a tough bugger and just battled on. And I just hope he doesn't realise that he does have to train. He can't consistently get through that, but he was incredible tonight. I thought he was very good. We realise what sort of player he is and what he brings to our footy side and the way he throws his body in around the contest, and it was great to have him back. Really good to have him back.
Dimma, you've won, you said before, you won 2 of the 3 matches against the teams high up on the ladder, and you're about to go into a batch of matches that you probably expected to win a lot of. How do you guard against any sort of complacency or any drop-off?
Yeah, I think that's every side's challenge, isn't it? Like the sides that we're sort of talking about, like they're going to have their moments and they're going to play well, and we haven't. At various stages, we haven't beaten those sides that we should have beaten, and that's going to be our next challenge. We talk about if we just maintain the consistency of our performance, if we concentrate firmly on the next shift where our feet are right now, we're going to be okay. If we drift off that or we don't play to our identity piece, we're going to get beaten, like most sides in the competition. So it doesn't really matter who we're playing or which people are in the jumpers. We've just got to go out and play our way. And if we do that more times than not, we're going to win more games than we don't.
Dimma, it seems like some lessons were learned from Collingwood. I mean, fortnight ago you had a healthy lead at half time.
Yeah.
Things changed pretty rapidly, but third quarter this time you almost stood on the throat and went ahead with it, largely thanks to Matty. And how good is it to see that growth?
It was good, and it was, it was the players. We thought at half time that they'd challenge their midfielders, and then we challenged our midfielders to respond before theirs got an opportunity to. And I love being the coach of a side that I consistently see grow week in, week out. Like sometimes loss is a gift. You learn valuable lessons from that. Even the game against Collingwood, we learned valuable lessons from that, which will help us at some stage, and one of those stages was today. So everything for us is all about learning and growth, but more importantly, what we can then do from that to make sure we're better next time. And credit where credit's due. Noah and his leadership team do a terrific job about making sure the guys understand that and, more importantly, execute that, which is great.
Rowley, since the start of the year, the playing group's been unafraid to talk finals and be confident in what the side was wanted to achieve. What's the mindset of the group when that goal is so close?
Yeah, obviously each season you want to play finals. I think every team would say that. And yeah, we're no different. And started the year well, and we're in the hunt, so we're really excited about that. But like Dimma said, we just got to be where our feet are. Next shift, as we call it, because otherwise, if you look too far ahead, then that's when you trip yourselves up. So next game, we've got Richmond, so I'm just really excited about that. I know all the boys will be. So we know it's in the background. That's our end goal, and to go deep into finals. But we're just really excited each game and wanting to, show our identity each week.